ABBA remains one of the most influential pop groups in music history, and at the heart of its sound is Benny Andersson, a composer and musician whose melodies helped define an era. From glittering stage costumes to unforgettable harmonies, ABBA's music continues to resonate across generations. Yet behind the polished image of global fame lies a more complex human story shaped by creativity, relationships, success, and emotional struggle. Benny's journey from a working-class boy in Stockholm to an international music icon is filled with turning points that include early musical discovery, groundbreaking collaborations, and personal challenges that unfolded alongside worldwide fame. While fans often remember ABBA for their joyous hits, the reality behind the scenes included creative pressures, shifting relationships, and life decisions that influenced the group's direction. Over time, Benny evolved from a young keyboard player into a visionary songwriter whose work extended far beyond ABBA into musicals and modern productions. This story explores his path, the rise and transformation of ABBA, and the personal experiences that shaped their music, ending with their unexpected reunion and continuing legacy in today's entertainment world. It also reflects how music and memory remain deeply connected for audiences everywhere still today now. Early life and musical foundations. Benny Andersson was born in Stockholm in 1946, into a family where music quietly shaped everyday life. His early exposure to traditional Swedish folk tunes and accordion music from his father and grandfather laid the foundation for his lifelong passion. As a child, he quickly gravitated toward melody and rhythm, showing an instinctive understanding of musical patterns even before formal training. By the age of 10, he had already begun teaching himself piano, experimenting with chords and harmonies that would later become central to his songwriting style. School did not hold his attention for long, as his fascination with music grew stronger than academic subjects. Instead, he found his education in local performances, youth clubs, and the evolving popular music scene of Sweden. Influences from international artists broadened his musical taste, blending folk traditions with rock and pop sounds. Early relationships and small band experiences gave him his first taste of collaboration and performance. These formative years not only shaped his technical abilities, but also built the creative confidence that would eventually lead him into professional music, setting the stage for his breakthrough with one of Sweden's most successful pop groups. This period defined his future artistic direction, completely rooted. The Hep Stars and the start of songwriting. Benny Andersson's professional career began to take shape when he joined the Swedish pop group the Hep Stars in the mid-1960s. Initially known primarily as a keyboard player, he soon became the creative force behind the band. At a time when most Swedish groups focused on covering international hits, Benny began writing original material that set the Hep Stars apart. Songs he composed quickly gained popularity, helping the group achieve national fame and establish a strong teenage following. His growing confidence as a songwriter marked a turning point as he moved beyond performance into composition and production. During this period, he also formed key relationships with other musicians, including Bjorn Ulvaeus, which would later prove essential to his future success. Their early collaborations revealed a shared approach to melody and structure, laying the groundwork for a long-term partnership. The Hep Stars era not only gave Benny commercial success, but also allowed him to experiment with songwriting on a larger scale. This experience refined his skills and prepared him for the next phase of his career, where collaboration and creative ambition would lead to the formation of one of the most iconic pop groups in the world that defined global pop. Meeting Bjorn Ulvaeus and the formation of a new sound. The meeting between Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus marked the beginning of one of the most successful songwriting partnerships in pop history. Their collaboration started with simple compositions, but quickly developed into a highly productive creative relationship. Both musicians shared a deep understanding of melody and arrangement, which allowed them to complement each other's strengths. Around the same time, Benny became connected with singers Agnetha Faltskog and Annie Frid Lyngstad, whose voices would become central to the group's identity. These personal and professional relationships gradually merged, forming a unique musical dynamic where couples worked closely in both studio and private life. Early recordings and performances together revealed a natural chemistry that set them apart from other acts of the time. Their sound combined pop accessibility with emotional depth, creating a style that resonated with audiences across Sweden. As their collaboration deepened, they began experimenting with harmonies, production techniques, and lyrical themes that reflected both personal experiences and universal emotions. This period laid the foundation for what would eventually become ABBA, a group that transformed from a local collaboration into a global phenomenon. Their early experiments would soon evolve into one of the most successful pop groups in history ever created truly. Eurovision breakthrough and the rise of Waterloo. In 1974, ABBA achieved their international breakthrough when they entered the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Waterloo. The performance marked a dramatic shift in the group's trajectory, combining energetic staging with a bold glam rock influence that stood out from traditional Eurovision entries. Their victory brought immediate international attention, propelling them from national fame in Sweden to recognition across Europe. Waterloo quickly climbed music charts in multiple countries and even gained traction in the United States, signaling the beginning of their global appeal. The success of the song demonstrated the strength of Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus's songwriting partnership, as well as the vocal power of Agnetha and Anni Frid. Following the win, ABBA began to establish a more defined image, including their distinctive costumes and evolving visual identity. Although initial reactions in some markets were uncertain, the group steadily built momentum through consistent releases and performances. Waterloo remained a defining moment in their career, setting the stage for a decade of global success and establishing ABBA as one of the most influential pop acts of the 1970s. This victory changed everything for the group and opened doors to worldwide tours, recording deals, and lasting international recognition for ABBA forever. Global success and cultural impact in the 1970s. Following their Eurovision victory, ABBA entered a period of rapid international expansion that defined the rest of the decade. Their music evolved from simple pop songs into carefully produced hits that combined catchy melodies with emotional storytelling. Songs like Mamma Mia, SOS, and Dancing Queen became global anthems, dominating charts across Europe, Australia, and beyond. The group maintaining a consistent sound helped them achieve rare longevity in the pop industry. Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus refined their songwriting partnership, experimenting with studio techniques and layered arrangements that elevated their productions. At the same time, Agnetha and Anni Frid's vocal harmonies became a signature element of their identity, giving their music both strength and emotional depth. Touring and media appearances further expanded their popularity, although the pressures of fame and constant travel began to affect their personal lives. Despite these challenges, ABBA continued to release successful albums throughout the decade, solidifying their place as one of the most successful pop groups in history and shaping the sound of international pop music for years to come. This sustained success made them cultural icons whose influence continues to shape modern pop music today, still worldwide enduring. Love, marriage, and the breakdowns behind the music. The personal relationships within ABBA played a significant role in shaping both the group's music and its internal dynamics. Benny Andersson and Anni Frid Lyngstad, as well as Bjorn Ulvaeus and Agnetha Falskog, began their journeys as romantic couples before becoming global music partners. In the early years, their relationships added a sense of authenticity to their performances, as audiences connected with the idea that real love stories were behind the songs. However, the pressures of fame, constant touring, and creative demands gradually strained both marriages. Over time, emotional distance grew between the couples, even as their professional collaboration continued. The eventual breakdown of both relationships had a profound impact on the group, influencing the emotional tone of their later music. Songs began to reflect themes of separation, loss, and reflection, offering listeners a deeper and more mature perspective. Despite the personal challenges, the members maintained a commitment to their music and continued working together. Their ability to transform personal pain into artistic expression became one of ABBA's defining qualities, adding emotional depth to their global success and leaving a lasting legacy in popular music history. This emotional complexity helped define ABBA's later sound and deepened their artistic identity significantly forever. The Visitors and the Quiet, End of an Era. The early 1980s marked a turning point for ABBA as both personal and professional challenges converged. During the recording of The Visitors, the group adopted a more mature and introspective sound that reflected the emotional realities of their lives. The album explored themes such as separation, political tension, and personal reflection, signaling a shift away from their earlier upbeat pop style. Although the music remained highly crafted and innovative, it carried a sense of melancholy that distinguished it from previous releases. The success of individual singles showed that ABBA still had strong international appeal, but internal dynamics were changing. Recording sessions became more difficult, and creative disagreements began to surface. As the group members pursued their own lives and projects, the decision to pause ABBA activities became increasingly inevitable. By the end of this period, it was clear that the era of continuous global dominance had come to a close. The final recordings and appearances marked the end of a remarkable chapter in pop history, leaving behind a legacy of timeless music that continued to influence artists long after the group stopped performing together. This period quietly closed ABBA's first chapter, while setting the stage for future reunions ahead always. Life after ABBA and continued musical success. After ABBA disbanded, the members pursued separate creative paths while maintaining their connection to music. Benny Andersson and Björn Ulvaeus achieved significant success in musical theater, creating acclaimed productions that showcased their songwriting abilities beyond the pop world. Their work in stage musicals demonstrated a new level of artistic ambition, blending storytelling with complex musical composition. Meanwhile, the vocalists explored individual careers, facing both challenges and personal transformations as they stepped away from global fame. Although their public profiles differed greatly after ABBA, each member continued to influence the music industry in their own way. Benny's focus on composition and large-scale projects cemented his reputation as a versatile and enduring composer. Over time, their collective legacy grew even stronger, as new generations discovered their music through recordings, films, and stage adaptations. The enduring popularity of ABBA's songs ensured that their influence remained present in popular culture long after their breakup. Their post-ABBA journeys demonstrated that success can take many forms, and that artistic collaboration can leave a lasting imprint that extends far beyond the lifespan of a single group. This ongoing influence proves their music remains relevant across generations and continues to inspire artists worldwide even today still. The Reunion, Voyage album, and ABBA Voyage experience decades after their breakup, ABBA surprised the world by reuniting to create new music and stage innovations. Initially planned as a small collaboration, the project grew into a full album that reflected both nostalgia and artistic maturity. The members reunited in the studio after many years apart, rediscovering their creative chemistry and shared musical instincts. This led to the release of Voyage, an album that blended modern production with the classic ABBA sound. Alongside the album, they introduced a groundbreaking concert experience featuring digital avatars that represented their younger selves. This innovative stage production allowed audiences to experience ABBA performances in a completely new way, combining technology with musical legacy. The show quickly became a global success, attracting fans from multiple generations and setting new standards for live entertainment. The reunion demonstrated not only the enduring strength of their music but also the deep personal bonds that still existed between the members. It showed that despite time, distance, and life changes, their creative connection remained intact and powerful. This revival proved that ABBA's legacy could evolve with technology while preserving the emotional core that made their music timeless across generations worldwide and continues to grow in cultural impact today still. Conclusion: the legacy of Benny Andersson and ABBA's story is not only one of commercial success, but also of artistic evolution, personal challenges, and enduring legacy. Benny Andersson's role as a composer and creative force helped shape a sound that defined an era and continues to influence modern music. From humble beginnings in Stockholm to global stardom, his journey reflects the power of collaboration and persistence in the face of change. The group's rise, breakup, and eventual reunion illustrate how personal relationships can both complicate and enrich creative work. Despite periods of separation and emotional difficulty, the members maintained a shared connection through their music, which has continued to resonate with audiences around the world. Their songs remain timeless, not just for their melodies, but for the emotional honesty embedded within them. Today, ABBA stands as a symbol of musical innovation and cultural impact, bridging generations through sound and storytelling. Benny Andersson's legacy extends far beyond the group itself, influencing musical theater and contemporary composition. Ultimately, ABBA's journey shows that great music endures, evolving with time while preserving the spirit that first brought it to life. This enduring legacy ensures their influence will continue shaping music history for generations, long after their time to come always forever.